We are back here at the Nexon Arena for more Pro League. We have Jin Air versus KT in the midst of a fantastic matchup. Maru taking down player after player on KT.
I feel like the matchup is now KT versus Maru, and KT's got to be Zest right now. The last man standing. He will be their last player if he's chosen here. So if they want to use somebody else, I think it's just a mistake. He's the most consistent player they can put in this spot. It has to be Zest as their final player, and he has to defeat Maru first, and then two others.
That's a lot to ask. You know, we were talking about sending out Lerilak on Brian Terraces. Definitely didn't have the best shot. Looked kind of unconfident in some of those, in some of those engagements in the middle of the map. And now we're having Zest. He has to get 3 in a row. I think it has to be him. Like,
yeah,
okay,
I mean,
here we go.
Not a single person was surprised. Yeah. 6-2 this season. Less average kills than Maru, of course, with those 2 losses. But, I mean,
most winning player.
He has to clean it up now.
Yep, needs 3 in a row. And no doubt, we were talking about this before. You were mentioning, like, if Maru comes out this early on that map, Rogue has to be prepared to take out Zest later on here. We got Olrena after this, and then Dusk Towers. You know, maybe we see Rogue come out on Olrena, do like a rush build. Could happen. I
think the thing is, even if you're Zest, you can probably deduce that in about 5 seconds, but doesn't necessarily mean that you can stop it. And he has to focus on this first. He has to focus on this match ahead before he even starts thinking about Rogue. And I think, you know, you and I were talking about this in the break. I think Rogue would be the perfect choice on Olrena, but focus on Maru now. Your opponent in front of you, you're the last man standing. They fed Lerilak to Maru. They went to a long game there, but Maru eventually ate him there with those Liberators.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it was a long game. That was a tiring game. But again, Maru, he has the stability of a workhorse, stamina. He just never lets down. And I definitely favor him against Zest. But can Zest do it here in game number 5? Bring it back to KT. Let's find out now. Down here in the bottom right, in the green, the Terran player with 3 kills, it is Maru.
And up here to the top right, in red for KT Rolster, it is Zest. Such a handsome player. By far considered to be the most handsome StarCraft 2 player in Korea currently.
Yeah, I think so. We don't have our official, you know, maybe they have it somewhere online, but I haven't looked at it. Maybe you have Wolf.
Yeah, you know.
Or is this just the Wolf?
This is the Wolf.
Wolf book?
This is the Wolf. You know, it's just correct. I just know it's the truth. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I know the whispers. I know what's going on. Everyone's tweeting like as many pictures of like his skin as they can find. Like if you like if you have the buttons on your shirt like near your wrist, like if like a little bit of his skin pokes out there, they're like, whoa! Like
sneak a camera up in there. Yeah.
But yeah, those actually StarCraft players are very handsome pro gamers. There was recently a poll at the OGN Super League as to which players were the most handsome. Actually, the former StarCraft 2 player Ace, the caster of the league, won, but second place was C Moving, who's also a former SC2 pro. So
well, there you have it.
Just putting it out there,
basically
StarCraft players
decided.
handsome.
Yeah.
But Zest, a player with a lot of history in StarCraft 2, a player who used to be known as Pichigap, as in like cover yourself with blood. He was actually asked to change it after the first hybrid season because people thought it was a bit inappropriate and aggressive, but he used it since Brood War. And now moving into Zest, he's made a career for himself. He's a GSL champion. He's just the Kingslayer, was just results in the first Pro League you and I commentated together in 2014. He killed like so many good players on SKT. Y'all killed them, in fact. So a solid player, and he needs to bring KT Rolster to victory here if they're going to face their rival team, SKT.
Yeah, he's also very good at making names, unlike me. I definitely struggle with that.
It's all right, Spicy Salmon. Relax.
Yeah. I'm just a bit jealous. Cover yourself in blood and then Zest. I mean, this guy is releasing hits one after the other. Like, what's next? I don't know, man.
Well, if he just takes the old ID, Hope Torture, if he wants to change his ID, that would be like the perfect follow-up to this. 2 bases up for Zest. We are at vertical spawns here, so drops coming out very quick for both sides. A Warp Prism or a drop ship can be quite powerful here. There's the robotics coming up. Maru is going down the factory tech path with his second barracks, which is very popular in Korea right now. Barracks, factory barracks. And just building up his marine count right now. Probably going to see a Widow Mine drop, I would guess, with how this is going.
It could be. On the other side for Zest, gets that robotics facility out. Twilight Council to follow. Would not be surprised to see 2 more gates added. I saw Zest doing this on like Orbital Shipyard maybe in January or like February. It was really early on. Went into DTs from this and used that to expand very safely, but that's kind of fallen out of favor.
One of the reasons why, the scan sees everything, but it perfectly highlights the point I was about to make. One of the reasons why Pro S players do both of these techs every time is because there's like 6 different paths that this can lead to. You can go Blink, you can go Adept, Adept attack speed, you can go DT drop, you could do an Immortal Bust or something and trick him because you made a Twilight Council. You could DTs at the front. You could do so much with this that even Amaru sees it, he's like, oh, okay, this is every PvT build. It could be anything.
He's like, oh, okay, you're
He's like,
playing
why'd I
standard.
scan? He's like, why'd I even scan? I don't even know why I scanned that. Of course you're doing this. I don't know what it is. That didn't give me any information.
Yeah, so it is going to be Blink with observers coming out. Might just be safe Blink. You see already a third base coming down. And I like that a lot. I mean, Maru could punish it if he scouts it, but he's got to do that first.
The observer scouting these 2 Widow Mines is pretty huge. It's going to let him react to that back at home. Widow Mines over here look like they might have been used for like emergency Oracle defense or something, but now they're just going to be picked up and flown across. Obviously not going to be Oracle defense versus what he scouted, but more likely a Warp Prism drop. But going to go across here. There's no second observer out just yet, actually. Just started it right now.
He's got 2.
Okay, he does have 2. My mistake.
1 in the main, and looks like 1 out towards the front, I would believe. Don't see it there just yet, but immediately overcharges here to defend, buys himself some time. That other pylon is not in the best position. Does have some stalkers, but the drop is coming in the backside at the same time.
Yeah, here he comes. The observer is here, but there's no units. He's going to have to pull, and the Marauders actually will get cleaned up. Zest definitely getting the better end of this trade. Looks like Maru will save 1 Widow Mine, will leave the second one here. Just for threatening potential, I guess. And the Stalkers are going to try to catch this. Blink's almost done.
That was about as clean as it could have been. I mean, he lost some units in the trade. Yeah, he lost a pylon, but immediate pull in the main. Only takes 1 kill there, 1 death. Trades out the entire army of Maru. Now he can pressure the front with Blink.
Yep, there's no stim yet. This bunker isn't finished. SCVs are coming off the line. He's not microing. There he goes.
Yeah, does need to blink with his Blink research that he does have.
I think he just realized that Widow Mine was about to go off and was focusing on that with the overcharge back at home. But
I mean, he's got his third base out now, adding in that production. 3 more gates, going to start getting his upgrades. Liking Zest's position here.
Me too. Maru's doesn't have a whole... I mean, look at the unit tab. It says it all. I mean, yeah, he's Terran, so being down on workers because of those 2 pods that just come down doesn't matter as much, but his army is non-existent. He doesn't have any way of pressuring. And the Protoss is just going to sit back and soak up the money. 3 base versus 2 for a really long time. Maru added 2 extra barracks, so I think he's thinking he's going to try to end this game with a timing push, or at least kill this 3rd base with a timing push. I think that's his only option here. He's going to try to line it up with +1 and combat shields.
It's very like Maru, you know, in the past when Protosses were rushing to Colossi. He'd put on the pressure, add those extra barracks, get a bunch of Marauders, then just attack you, split you out, micro you. At the same time, he'd expand and he'd just get ahead with that tempo play. So maybe trying to do some of the same. He knows that 3rd base is very close if he breaks down the rocks. But I'm sure that Zest is scouting this. He's getting in position to defend it. He's getting out Immortals now. Extra upgrades.
He has 2 observers, 1 to spot the airdrops that could come, 1 to spot the ground army. So he sees this coming. He knows the rocks are being attacked right now. He's got no fear of this whatsoever. He's got 11 Adepts and 11 Stalkers. Combat Shield's just finished. The attack speed upgrade is almost done for the Adepts, about like 15 seconds away. +1 coming up, so this is the timing that Maru wants to hit this third base with, but I don't know if he's going to find success. There's also a sentry here.
Yeah, look at this army. Scan goes down, and Korean commentators are laughing, probably like, you can't attack this.
Oh, that Widowmine hit not the best, but not the worst either, taking some shields off of those Adepts. But the longer this takes, the worse it is for Maru, because his Protoss army is just building and building and building off of this better economy. Taking out a Widowmine here. Gonna shade forward here with the attack speed upgrade is finished. There's the blink forward. There's even an Immortal here, not participating in the fight currently. Another good Widowmine hit, but still, I think this is just not enough for Maru. He's pushed away. Zest is just gonna take this game right here, right now. It's 3-2 still. Not even a third CC.
Yeah, look at all these stalkers. Looks like he's not going to try to break the ramp with that Liberator over there. He may be even assuming that Maru's got a third base, but he doesn't. He's going to break down these rocks and say, okay, I'll take out your third base and get ahead that way. But doesn't need to. I suppose he could just be opening up another path here for his Blink Stalkers to try to pull this Terran army out of position, especially with the Liberators.
It's hard for Zest to actually kill Maru right now. But he's killing him in another way. Like, he's killing his chances of ever coming back in this game by making sure his economy is non-existent. You know? He's not going to blink into Liberators and a bunch of bio with stim and bunkers. No, but he can poke at this. He can just keep checking with his shades. Oh, okay, you still don't have a third base. Okay, you still don't have a third base. I have a fourth base coming up now. You know, I'm catching up in upgrades. My forge is spinning. I got my +1 armor now, so that negates your +1 attack. And he just keeps using these shades to scout. He's not going to commit to these.
And scouts up. No observer in the back door for that third, but he takes a fourth at the same time, gets all the upgrades in the world. Dark Shrine on the way. Does have a Warp Prism out on the map already, just one.
Yeah, just finished, I think. So he's going to send that across, and can even just warp in DTs and then drop them into that with that Warp Prism. Looks like he's going to try to drop some Adepts first, and then maybe warp in DTs afterwards. Scans going down for here for Maru. Oh, he's pulling the SCVs. We haven't seen this in a while.
Heart of the Swarm, is that you? Are you back? Well, it seems like Maru thinks so. And he is going to go for the last ditch effort here with all the SCVs. Pull them all.
Here we go. This is going to be tough.
Boys.
He's going to do a big warp in of DTs at Maru's base. So Maru is even more all in than he was before with those units killing his production. So he has to win the game right here, right now. Force field's going down, and this is not a good situation here for Maru, but he is trading decently with his bio so far, but the SCVs can't get in there to tank.
The Liberator's getting way too much damage done up there. Zest eating tons of damage there.
And a lot of these units he warped in aren't with his army, obviously. Those DTs were money he sank into this. Maru gonna have to scan to kill a few more of these DTs, but this Bioforce is strong, and there's still a lot of SCVs with it. Guardian Shield coming up here. Liberation Zones being planted once more.
Getting those Liberators into position is so key right now. He needs the scans too for the DTs, though it doesn't look like he has them.
He's like making turrets.
He needs to make turrets.
Oh, I think this is just too much. He's taking too much damage here. KT fans are giving a cheer, but this game isn't over yet. There's the scan to kill those DTs to survive, but Zest knows exactly what he's doing. He's 4 base to none. And if he just survives a little bit longer, he will eventually overwhelm this army.
Oh, the turret does finish. He snipes 2 of the DTs. The DTs need to be so careful about their positioning now. All of the Liberators in position too. Trying to blink over here, Zest. He does snipe 1.
Maru is basically going to have to win the game off of this army. He's going to keep the momentum going. He can't let Zest get an army big enough to defeat his. He's moving his CC. He knows he still has a chance in this game.
Somehow, some way, if Maru could pull this off, that would be insanity. The base to the left is not mining. Zest is barely mining from the main, so he's got essentially 1 mining base to 0. He just needs to produce as much stuff as possible.
Yeah, Maru can't give him any time. Maru needs to kill his army repeatedly. Every second that goes by that Maru's not fighting Zest's army's getting bigger. He was up like 15 army supply. Look at that. A few seconds go by. Now Maru's down 2 army supplies. Zest's already rebuilt his army with the economy he's got here.
Zest committing to killing that missile turret. 1 more scan.
I think
go down.
Starting to be the beginning of the end here. Liberation zones are solid. The Stalkers blink forward though. 1 goes down, 2 go down. The third one is being targeted here. That was the backbone of Maru's army.
That was it. Sniping them all out, using the probes to tank at the same time, and Maru's last army is being chased down. GG!
GG indeed. Zest bringing it back. Looks like we're going to All Arena, and Zest will have to continue the momentum, but very well played there. realizing that Maru was being aggressive, taking additional bases, buying time, using those DTs to buy him enough time to survive.
This is what you get at the highest level out here in Korea. These players know the tiniest of timings. He knew, he saw it 2-3 minutes ahead, and he's like, okay, I got to put down the Dark Shrine. I need to prepare for this. I know what he's doing. And he prepared it. He was perfectly set up. He had a rough fight there. You know, not the best control underneath those Liberators, the first one at the top of his ramp, but he held, and that's all he had to do. And now, Maru is defeated. The King, another King slayed. And is Rogue a King right now? I'm not sure. Is Trap or Kier going to step up? Who's going to do it? Who's going to take out Zest?
I think Rogue is the perfect choice for Arena. He's got so many different builds he can do. He can Hydra push into lurkers on this map with a short rush distance. He can go for a Ling drop on this map. He can harass in other ways. I think he's the perfect choice. I really like how Zergs are playing on this map. Rogue especially, his playstyle suits the map to beat a player like Zest. He's my pick here, and I think it would be really wise to use him on this map going forward. Cure and you know, the rest of the boys, like Cure might be like the last ditched player they have to use if Zest beats Rogue here. But it's Arena. I mean, I don't think you want to send Cure out here. Not right now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't even know if we're necessarily even going to see Cure today, but I'm just, you know, brainstorming here.
Options. Oh man, Zest opening this series wide open, and I thought Maru was going to win that one, man.
I did too.
Zest showing up tonight. Maru didn't have the perfect game there. Deciding to go for that rush didn't quite work out.
Zest just bought enough time. He knew that the weakness of that push was actually just basically, or the weakness of, you know, his only chance to die was if Maru just camped his production and ended up killing all of his units. So he just kept warping DT, DT, DT. And they eventually wore down the army. And he's like, I'm on 4, you're on none. So I will just make every unit you kill, I will remake it. And if you're losing units, any of them, at any time, to my DTs or my Adepts or even Zealots I'm making, then you're going to lose. You're going to get worn down. He had like 6 SCVs at the end as well. No way to recover.
Yeah, he was like trying to mine from the natural. I saw on the minimap, but Zest eventually shut that down too. He was mostly on the production for most of that attack while it was going on.